And we're live. All right.
Oh, yeah. Hello, folks. Ryan here with Natural Aquariums. Thanks for joining me, or I guess I should say us, for another Wednesday night stream. I think I called it the Planted Tank stream or something like that. I guess I should say us. That's my bad. That's
I
my
thought
bad.
that was me for a
Don't blame
second. Whoops.
Yeah, I pulled up the YouTube thing, and I guess it's working. All right, good deal. Well, Stephen, thanks for being here and welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. How's your day going so
far? Just fine. Didn't do a whole lot today, except this evening I finally got an order that I got ordered from Dustin's Fish Tanks before the hurricane, and then they had to delay the shipment for a while, and I finally got it today.
Sure.
And I put it in my tanks. Nice little shipment of S. repens, a different kind of Ludwigia, another one, Ludwigia arcuata, never had before.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Some hygrophila. Yep. And then some Pogo stemon helferi, because I had a tissue culture of that, and I couldn't get it to do anything. Like it didn't die and it didn't grow. It just stayed in its weird in between state of being a tissue culture.
Of tissue culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that plant, and yeah. The couple of the other ones you mentioned, like I don't know what hygrophila you got. I have some like willow hygro right behind me in the 90 here. I got some S. repens right here.
I think it was called Stricta.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't know much about it. I mean, I've had Corymbosa for a while, which is like the base green one, and then I got some Compacta whenever I did the Nanoscape, but I haven't tried any other hygrophila. Oh well, I've Hygrophila deformis, but I mean that one is easy.
Yeah, so you're already like kind of touching on a couple of the subjects that I had kind of thought about maybe talking about, and one of them was ordering plants online and stuff. I kind of wanted to get some of your opinion on that. I've been very fortunate to be around here in this area that I get a lot of plants from local fish stores or through my club and stuff like that. So I really haven't done much ordering of plants online. I think I got some from Lucas one time, but that's really about it.
Yeah, I've ordered from lots of different places, and I've had mixed success. Like I think Dustin's is going to be my new go-to, unless something really horrible happens. But so far, what I've gotten from them has been pretty good. And I've made the mistake of, like, when I wanted to get into higher tech plants, that I would order from eBay. And I don't know what it is. I guess it's completely immersed growth that just would not convert. I don't know their water parameters or what, but a lot of them just didn't like my water. Like Rotala Willikii, I think this was called.
Okay.
Willikii, I don't know how to pronounce it, but
I
just the furry one
a while ago. Yeah, it's all furry, and then it gets kind of the pink tips to them and stuff.
Yeah,
cool plant.
So
yeah. So Dustin's. Yeah, I've heard good things about Dustin's, and yeah.
I mean, I've gotten good stuff from my local fish store, and whenever I do get something from there, it usually does well. But their selection is hit and miss. There'll be some days I show up and they've got nothing, and then other days where all their tanks are just full of plants.
Yep. I've come to learn, one of my local fish stores is the Wet Spot. And so, like I said, I'm real fortunate.
Yeah.
And they have quite the selection at times, at least. And I've kind of come to learn that they generally get their plant shipments in like Thursday afternoon. And so, later on in the day on Thursday or Friday is usually a good place to go, good time to go there to get a good selection. I went the other day and Monday, and I mean, things were just wiped out. I did end up buying a couple of things, a couple of, I was looking at the receipt here to find the names of it because there are a couple of Bucephalandra.
Oh.
Thea, Theia, and you know how like Boost names go.
Yep.
And
I every variety of booster that I have, I've wiped the name of it from memory because I'm
yeah,
not keeping them separate. I
mhm.
just have a big carpet of it around a bonsai tree, and I've ordered so many different varieties from different places. There's no way I'm
Yeah,
keeping up with it.
it's hard to say. Well, and they're all kind of undescribed anyways, so these are just like
Yeah.
common names which can get mixed up so much anyways. These are like just my second and third species of Boos, and like the first one I just got from some girl off of Craigslist locally here, and so I had to, and she just sold them as Bucephalandra, so I had to kind of try to identify it, and then I'm keeping this receipt so I can try to remember what these other
That's
ones
probably
are.
the honest way to sell it. I mean, I guess she could have made up her own name for it because
Yeah,
apparently, whatever the
totally.
hell.
Yep. Yep. So I don't know. I got all excited and got to talking with Stephen here about plants, but probably should run through and say hello to some of these fine folks that have decided to join us and make their presence known by typing
Yeah.
something in the chat or a little emoticon like S or something, So welcome S. Mary Page. She said that she was going to listen and lie down, I think, So hopefully our soothing voices will put her to sleep. Morocco's Fish Room was eating dinner earlier. There's your wife, I believe, Jenna P. 2005.
Yep, that's her.
Speaking of which, like my son was asking earlier, and I don't know if you've explained this before, but kind of where the 2003 came from. I told him that was just your last name. It was P 2003. So I don't know if I was right or not.
Yeah, P2003. That's my birth name.
Okay.
So I, sometime probably in middle school, I had to come up with an AOL username. And so Stephen, first name, P, last initial, 2003, my high school graduation year, which was a big deal when I was in middle school because I'm like 2003, that's so far away. And I kind of stuck with it. Or really what happened was I had this YouTube account for so long, and when I started getting into fish keeping and then started like interacting with fish fam people, I still was posting in chat under that name. Yeah. And so I think kind of people started to get to know me under that name, and I just decided not to change it.
Sure. Right.
And I think it might be too late to change it now. So that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. You could always like add on to it, then take some away later or something like that if you really wanted to. But hey, I like Stephen P 2003. It rhymes and everything, and
yeah, it works.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel like people don't really find you by your channel name. They find you by a video that they're looking for, and they click on it and they watch it and they'll subscribe to you if they want to. They're not like trying to research, like go back and find the name of your channel again.
Yeah, and that's the thing with my channel name, Natural Aquariums. You type that in, and then even if you like filter it down to just channels, you're going to be like scrolling through pages to find me. But I don't know. It is what it is. I don't really care. It's kind of like an exclusive club like that. I figure, But yeah, you're right. A lot of people just are looking for a video or something like that. Yep. So moving on here with the peoples, we got Ian saying hello to us. Jeffrey Watts. Oh, your co-host there, Lefty.
What's up, Lefty?
Yeah, well, he might be gone now.
Oh, yeah, because, he's got to wake up at a normal person time. I guess I call it normal people because I don't wake up that early. I mean, I sleep in because I can. Yeah.
You work from home?
Yeah. And then essentially, I don't really have to wake up until my first meeting of the day. So if that's at like 9:30, then that's what time I'm going to get up, about 9:25.
and then you can like wipe the crust out of your eyes and get on your call or whatever, right?
Don't even have to do that. Don't even have to. Don't even have to be on camera.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
As long as I got a
Nice.
microphone, I'm good.
Nice. Good deal. The freaky fish lady. Hello, Holly. Mystery Snail Guardians. I said it correctly this time.
It's #gardens.
Yes. Okay. All right. I better put that in the chat here. Never chatted from StreamYard before. I don't think that's a new one for me.
I didn't know you could from StreamYard, or maybe as a guest. I can't. I don't think I've ever used StreamYard as a host.
Oh yeah, it showed up. I checked the YouTube. It showed up.
There we go. #Stefan.
Nice. Fun with names. Speaking of fun with names, I missed your stream, unfortunately. I think I was washing cars that day or something, and I got the alert, but I was all consumed in what I was doing. But I did go back and kind of scan through, especially after Kenny's description of your stream. It sounded it sounded like a good time.
Oh yeah. And it was by design that a lot of people might have missed it, because like I mentioned it in some stream chats that I was going to do a 500 giveaway, but I wasn't going to advertise it. I wasn't going to like put like a, set the reminder for whatever and then say it's a giveaway, because it was a thank you. And it was like, I want to give it away to people who are around and have always been supportive anyway. And so they're going to know when I go live, because they're going to get the notification. They're not going to just be like random leeches jumping in.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll teach them. Like, make sure you got that bell, people. Yeah.
I never tell people to ring the bell, so they do it on their own, and so I'm grateful for that.
Indeed. Yep. Yeah, when I used to do videos, I used to do more of the like, subscribe, share, reminders and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what my attitude's become too. Like, if they want to, they will. If not, they won't.
Well, I still say subscribe and like, but the ring the bell, it's like only if you really want that. I know notifications are kind of polarizing. Some people don't want any. Some people want all of them, and we're in between.
Yeah, and it's always kind of a challenge to dial that in. That you start getting way too many YouTube notifications, and there's just like this huge list or whatever. But I guess if you like it well enough. Ooh, there was a little kitty cat.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this. I don't know if it's the cable or what. Like disconnect.
Yeah, I saw that when you were doing your stream at one point there. You're like, oh, I disappeared. Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, it's one of those programs that lets you use your phone as a webcam. I'm sure there's plenty others. I might see if there's a better one out there.
Yeah. Well, it seems to work for the most part.
Yeah.
Deborah, Dee Dee's Fish Den. She's in the house here. Ricky, RB Animals Rescue. Whoa. Yeah, I didn't miss you, Ricky. I'm just slow at this. It's only my 6th stream, but it did scroll like crazy, so I don't know where I'm at. Shanna, Liquid Zoo, Matt, hello. Jimmy P's Aquariums, saying hi to Shanna. Xanadu, right on. Oh, it's his first time here. Good to have you. Yeah, for sure. See, you're bringing in the new people. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, I wish I could do community posts whenever I'm on someone else's channel. Yeah, but you can't do that until I guess you're at 1,000, right?
Yeah, that's what I understand. But man, you're cruising on the subscribers. I think you'll be there in no time, probably a few months or so.
Yeah, I think I'm averaging about 100 subscribers a month. So, if it stays like that, I'll be more than happy.
Yeah, for sure. That seems like a pretty healthy pace to me. Definitely. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just think that your content's so good. I mean, I really enjoy your videos, and I'm sure you take like a massive amount of time to
Yeah.
get them all edited like that and everything. So, I mean, you're putting in the work. So I think you deserve it.
Thank you. It's a lot of late nights, and I don't know how long I'm going to keep it up, but I'm having fun for now. So just that's all. I'm not really overthinking it. Just having fun. I'm not thinking about like, does this video attract more viewers? Like unboxings. I know no one really cares about unboxings, which is why I made them like they are. Because otherwise they're meaningless.
Yeah, make them a little fun.
Yeah,
definitely.
We had Kenny E come in here.
Oh, nice. Hello, Ken. Foxy Fishes, Roxanne, welcome.
And Patty's pocket chatting, I guess.
Patty the Pocket Chatter. Awesome.
She's not a mod in here, is she? Because that could be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like who? I was gonna say I'm not even sure if I have any mods in here right now. But
let's see. Opening up.
It's in Ginger, which I hadn't mentioned yet. I don't believe, and then of course Danikin as well. So yeah, I guess we got a couple of mods, and yeah. You know, I guess that's probably why I didn't make Patty a mod, because then she'll just start banning everyone with her, in her pocket. You know.
Cool. Danny is in her redwood forest. She's happy for now. That's good. You know.
Yeah, that's a tough thing that they, you know, she lost her sister at so young. I think it was 51 or something like that, and that's rough. My stepdad just passed away, and he was only like, I don't know, 55, 57 or something like that. But yeah, it's just too crazy, you know. People going that early.
Yeah, definitely too early.
So yeah, speaking of like editing videos, I stayed up a fair amount late last night trying to get my secret history tank all edited and whatnot. He wanted to be like 2.5, 3 minutes or something. I kept trying to squeeze it down, and I think I still ended up like 3:33 or something like that. Hopefully it doesn't annoy him too much, but you know,
he said he said 1 to 3 minutes, and I wrote the way I do mine is I'll do voiceover, so I'll actually write down all my thoughts instead of like, because if I try to just speak from behind the camera, then it's going to be a lot of ums and like some weird awkward pauses and a 30-minute video, a very boring 30-minute video. So I had to write the script down, and then I had to pare it down, and that video is exactly 3 minutes.
I saw that. I'm like, of course, Stephen nailed it exactly 3 minutes, you know? Yeah, no, I watched your video, and yeah, I was definitely jealous. Beautiful scape too, by the way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's stuff I haven't had any experience with, and it was a fun thing to do, and I wasn't even going to do it at first. My wife talked me into it.
Oh, really?
Yep, and she's like, we can just put the tank right here on the what used to be called our dining room table. Dining room is now a fish room.
Yeah. We always eat on the couch anyways. We watch some
we do
Japanese
too.
But yeah, that's for people watching that haven't seen Stephen's video on his aquascape. I would definitely recommend you check that out. I did throw a link to his channel in the description there, so should be easy to get to. So you said you did a couple of things that were that you hadn't done before, and I, like I said, I watched the video, but I don't really recall what those were.
I mean, it was really almost everything, because like I've never done a nano tank before. 10-gallon is the smallest I've worked with. And I guess you can kind of call that a nano tank, but like getting down into like the 5-7 gallons, when you really have to pay close attention to water parameters, because it's very little water in there. So that was a new one for me. I've also, believe it or not, have never used sand as a substrate.
Really?
Yeah, like getting into the hobby, first thing I went to, of course, was gravel because everyone's using gravel.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then I started getting into the planted substrates, but like not the active ones, the ones that absorb nutrients and hold them in, like Eco Complete, Fluorite,
Hmm.
that kind of stuff.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
And yeah, so I was like, let me just try some sand. Got some, and I didn't get any like pool sand or play sand or anything like that. It's just like sand at the LFS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just aquarium sand, I guess is what they call it. And
Gotcha.
then
Like carob
yeah,
seed or something like that.
something like
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
yeah, and a lot of the plants I'd never really worked with. I mean, Val is Val. I have a lot of Val. I've never specifically had jungle Val, but same
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Dwarf hairgrass haven't dealt with, and Rotala rotundifolia, of course, I've grown that. But then there was another one like Macrandra big leaf was in there,
Hmm.
and another hygrophila that I hadn't worked with either, that I got from Dustin's, is like a red variety.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
that was my first limnophila species, the
Okay.
Sessiliflora.
Hmm. Yep. How's that
And
doing?
actually pretty good in most of my tanks. Like I like it better than Kabamba because it doesn't require as much light and you can still get it looking nice and full without
Yeah.
having to bathe it in light like Kabamba seems to
Hmm.
require.
Hmm. Yeah, I was doing a little brush up on your channel today, and I just searched Stephen P 2003, and I saw, who was it, Casual Aquatics or something. They did a little unboxing of a bunch of stuff you had sent them, and
Hmm.
yeah, there was some Kabamba in there, and yeah, that was kind of a little blast from the past. That's a plant that I haven't worked with in quite a while.
Yep. And I think the Kabamba that I sent him, I was growing it floating in my guppy tank. And you can tell that it's been growing in low light because there's like several inches between each shoot of
Yeah.
leaves, and the leaves are short.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem with that plant is if you want it to look like it looks like in the pictures, then you need all the light.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, when I used it, I had like kind of a Dutch type scape in this like 55, and yeah, I had like a nice Phoenix light on it, so I was
Hmm.
blasting some pretty good light. And then I brought it into the aquarium club, and during that time, the owner of the wet spot, he was doing like our auctions and stuff. He's like, I could never keep this stuff alive, and then he's auctioning it off, and yeah, I'm like, okay, thanks for the sales pitch.
Yeah. It's like, well, maybe you can do better with it.
Yep. Yeah. Right on. So yeah, I did a couple of kind of well, I guess well, two different new things with my aquascape tank for the secret history contest there. Had crystal red shrimp, so I'd never had any Caradinia type shrimp before. And then that kind of what's it called? Tripartita, hydrocotyle tripartita. That was a plant that I had never used before, and I'm really digging that plant. It grew like crazy. Speaking of the aquarium club, I saw Kimberly Holtz was in here, so she she's part of our Greater Portland Aquarium Society. So glad to see you in here, Kim. Oh, I lost Steven. Maybe he'll be back. I don't know if there's much I can do about that. Mm-hmm. Looking through the chat here a little bit. I think, yeah, Zen posted our aquascaping video. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see Alex and his, how he kind of presents that and decides who the winners are and stuff. I don't know about Steven, but, I'm just happy to be a part of it. And yeah, I had a good experience and learned a few things by just setting up a tank that was a little bit different than I normally do. So I saw a thing on the I don't know, I can't remember where it was. Maybe it was Reddit or just on YouTube or something. Oh, I remember somebody emailed it to like this group that I'm in. But yeah, Honda's got a new, I think they call it like the e-car or something. Like it's this little compact electric car, and there's a feature in it because it's got all these like screens around it. So there's like a screen for each mirror, and screen in the middle and stuff. And I guess that you can, oh, our friend Steven's back here. Boom, you're back.
Yeah, you see me in the chat. My computer just decided I'm gonna blue screen, so that'll be something for me to diagnose later.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you back again. I was just telling folks about this this video I saw today. It's this little compact Honda car that's like an electric car, and it's got a screen in the middle, and you can do, of course, I don't know, maybe control your climate and your whatever with it, but it's got a feature in there where you can put like a fish tank on the dash, and then you can even like tap the screen to feed the virtual fish or something like that. It was kind of a funny little gimmick that I saw.
Interesting. So what were we talking about before?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe the aquascape contest, or if we had moved on from there and stuff. I was, when you were gone there for a minute, I was saying, it'll be interesting to watch Alex's channel and kind of how it unfolds and how he presents it. See what happens.
I feel like he mentioned George Farmer entered, so like the. Obviously we're not going to win.
yeah.
I don't know how many places there are, if there's like second, third, fourth.
I know there was a fair amount of prizes or like prize pool at least, but I don't know if it's top 3 or just top 1 or top 10 or what. So it'll be interesting to see. But like you were saying, it was a good experience, regardless of how we doing it. And you're right. Neither of us are probably going to beat George Farmer. That's for sure.
No, unless he's entering just as like for fun, just to alongside. I mean, whatever books Alex is giving away about plants, I assume George Farmer already has one.
Yeah, probably.
He probably wrote one.
Yeah. Is it eligible to the entire world? Is he eligible?
I don't know. I don't see why not. I mean, maybe certain prizes they couldn't win. I don't even remember what the prizes were. I just knew he had a good bit of them.
Yep, for sure. Same here.
Yeah. Well, you were asking me like the stuff I hadn't tried before. So it was like the Rotala and the Limnophila, and I just like the fact that the Limnophila seems to grow without necessarily like a high amount of lighting. But I have been getting into more of those high-tech plants, and I'm actually like this 40 breeder on the green screen behind me only has one Fluval 3.0, and I actually have a second one on order. So upgrade the lighting so I can try out some more stuff.
Yeah, gonna blast it with some more light, huh?
Yeah, well, you got to take it slow. I'll back off. Like right now, this one peaks at 100% for a few hours each day. I'll probably back off significantly on both of them for a while to see how it works out.
Yeah, I've never had one of those lights, the 3.0. It looks pretty cool though, how you can control you can kind of schedule out the day and how it goes and how things dim, and
Yeah, I do like that, the Bluetooth control. So what lights do you use?
So like in this tank here, and on my 55, it's like a Phoenix, one of the Planet Plus 24/7 lights. I don't, use that 24/7 feature. All I do is I just turn them to max and then crank the blues down as far as they'll go, and that's it basically. On those two tanks. And then like the light I have on my plant farm is a light I bought. I got it with a little it's this kind of hexagon acrylic tank. It's exactly like another one that I have. And someday I want to connect the two with some like clear tubes and stuff and just
yeah, that would be cool.
build it all together. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea. And but that tank came with this light, and in like the Craigslist ad, he said, that it listed the light. And so he's showing me around, he loads me all up, and he like leaves the light out. I'm like, how about that light? He's like, oh, that light is way too powerful for that tank. And I was kind of thinking, yeah, I know. And, but I'd still like it, if you don't mind. And so, yeah, it's some kind of garden, basement tomato kind of light, basically. And it's all LED, but it's, got mainly like some white lights and red lights, and then just like a couple of blue lights. But I mean, it is powerful. And then it didn't really come with the stand, so I had to kind of fashion one out of some wood. So I just took some little slats of wood and cut them to size, and then screwed them together, and then painted it all black with some like Krylon Fusion paint, so it didn't just get all water damaged real quickly, and then it kind of just sets on there. And so like in the middle of the tank, it's like boom, this big beam, but then like on the sides of the tank, it's kind of dimmer. But then I just put, some lower light type plants towards the edges of it, and then all the highlight kind of stuff in the middle. And there's no kind of rhyme or reason to that plant. It's just kind of that tank. It's just kind of rows of plants, because it's just made for propagating plants basically, and trying out different plants.
Yeah. And you've got a CO2 going in that.
Yeah, so I have two tanks with CO2. One of them is this 20 long right here, and then the other one is that 40 breeder, which I call the plant farm.
Yeah, my plant farm is a 10-gallon with no CO2, and it's really it's just what I use whenever I have to take off the tops of like Ludwigia and other stuff that grows super fast.
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't have a place for it at the moment. I just stick it down in the. It's my plant farm / quarantine tank / breeding a guppy that I thought looked cool out of my mutt guppy tank.
Nice.
Like, yeah, I just grabbed one. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna try to make more of it.
Yeah, throw them in there and see what happens, huh?
Yep. I like to say that my guppies are very strong, because I mean that guppy has undergone many changes in water in that tank and rounds of medication. Like, I don't take them out when I quarantine other fish, so it's kind of like canary in the coal mine.
Yep. Yeah, I've done that before as well, and yeah, it's still fighting through, it sounds like.
Yeah, doing just fine.
I think my son wanted to come say hi, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
He said no, Trenton, sorry. Are you gonna stick your head in there and say hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Is that what he was saying? It's time.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's also. I told him that he could come check in at 8 o'clock. So usually I tell people that yeah, I think Pam's starting her stream now. So if you want to ditch Stephen and Trenton and I, then go see Pam, now's the time.
Yep. But bye.
I suppose if you really want to leave,
it's up to them.
Yeah,
up to them. The viewer just like goes down by 10, and you probably will. just like goes down by just all the views. Just
So it looks like Geek Boy does the same thing as you
Oh
do.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then anything that overflows the quarantine tank goes into that guppy mosh pit that I have. And man, that thing is like, I've got the worst light you can possibly buy, like a Nycrew that's like extra blue.
Oh, really?
I don't know if
Yeah.
you have any experience with Nycrew lights, but
Yeah.
I bought Nycrews when I first got back into the hobby, and I wasn't really like familiar with lights, and that one said planted, so sure, I'll get that one. And yeah, there's a lot of blue LEDs on it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it works, and you know,
Yeah.
a lot of shading.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on those lights. Yeah, what, some of them, yeah, just have a ton of blue in them, and then some of them aren't so bad and stuff like this. This one I got on the 20 long here. It's just kind of a cheap Chinese eBay, or not eBay, but Amazon light. But it, was one that came with a remote. So, once again, you could just kind of turn all those blues down and then let it blast away what it can do. And it's, it's just a short tank, so it doesn't take much either.
Oh, this is cool.
So do you have firsthand experience with blue light causing algae yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to determine that for sure, but I buy into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what it seems to me is that it really depends on the plants that you've got in there. If you've got fast growers, the blue light doesn't seem to be a problem. Like, it just, I guess it's like plants use blue light so efficiently that any large amount of blue light is going to probably be in excess. And that's, algae takes advantage of anything that the plants can't use in that amount of time.
Yep.
So that's just my theory. If you've got stuff that like grows like gangbusters, like a bunch of water sprite and water wisteria and just things like that, it seems to work out okay.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, for sure. That kind of gets me into one other thing that I wanted to talk to you about. And I don't know, I've heard, and maybe you've probably heard the same thing before too, but people associate algae with water flow sometimes too, like especially like the BBA and stuff, that people say that like, oh, it's too much water flow or not enough water flow, and then somebody else is saying, well, the BBA grows on my outlet of my canister filter, and do you think there's any sort of relationship between water flow and algae?
I have not even been able to find any kind of correlation, because I like my tanks have all varying degrees of flow. And for example, I do get a lot of BBA in my betta tank where the flow is naturally very low. So I guess that'd be one thing. But then I have BBA that grows on the outlet of my pleco tank, which my pleco grow out, the flow is dialed up to 11. I've got two AquaClear 70s on high in a 29 gallon for the pleco tank.
Yeah.
And yeah, it grows all kinds of hair algae because I leave the light on all day at max. I haven't bothered to dial in light and nutrients in there because I don't care. I breed shrimp in there. I breed plecos. It's a bare bottom tank. It's full of poop, full of snails, and everything is doing really well in there. Algae included.
So. For sure. Yeah, and algae, that's the thing that kind of saves us and takes up those extra nutrients. It's got to go somewhere, and so yeah, I mean it's a healthy thing, and like hair algae is another thing that people often see hair algae more where there's flow, but I think that they're just seeing it. That I don't think there's a whole lot of relationship either.
I mean, algae is just opportunistic, is all it is. So wherever it can grow, it will grow.
Yep. True story. And the only exception that I kind of come up with is that, maybe if you have enough flow that it can kick things, deteriorating things up, and it can, get taken to the filter and stuff, then, it may help in that fashion. But otherwise, I don't know that it makes a whole lot of difference one way or the other.
I did have a black beard algae problem in the tank behind me for a while because I made the mistake that no one should ever make when you have a heavily planted tank. And that mistake is to change a whole bunch of crap at once. Always a bad idea. So like within a month span, I added this backlight, and that's just a bunch of extra blue light. And then I completely changed out the filters from aqua clear to a canister filter with a spray bar. So the flow was disrupted and changed. I trimmed a whole bunch of plants. I moved a bunch of plants around. I replaced plants with a lot of new plants that hadn't gotten established yet. But I didn't change my fertilization. So yeah, guess what happened?
Yep, algae explosion, I imagine, huh?
Yeah, and it probably took
a little breakout.
Yeah, it probably has taken about 5 or 6 months to get it back because I didn't do anything aggressive to fight it. I just I know how I got it and I know how to make it go away, and it's going to take a whole lot longer for it to go away.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's always good advice to change one thing at a time, but that's so much easier said than done. You like
I am constantly messing with stuff. I can't stop.
Yeah, exactly. A few comments about my son's hair. He's very proud of those curls. He just got a haircut recently, and it's always a little bit of a battle to get him to do so.
My son has very similar hair. It's wild, and he whenever it gets long, it's just like he'll brush his hair, and then 5 minutes later, it'll look like no one's touched his hair in weeks.
Well, you guys got the humidity down there too. That probably doesn't help, huh?
Yeah, indeed.
Yep. How's the weather?
Well, I guess tropical storm, hurricane, depression, whatever it's called, Nicholas, just kind of swept by the coast, gave us a lot of rain. No big deal with that.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure it affected other people more, but we were fortunate.
Yeah.
And even with Ida, we were pretty fortunate because we lost power for 10 hours. I mean, it was a long 10 hours because it's hot. And, with no, AC's got to be running all the time in this heat. So, yeah, losing power for 10 hours at night, trying to sleep through that. Also, the fact that the hurricane hit at night and there's trees and branches all around the house. And it was a miracle that nothing hit the house because, I mean, we've got giant trees everywhere and big limbs were in the yard, but nothing was damaged other than a couple of fence posts that just need to be nailed back in.
Yeah. Was there any trees blocking roads, or did you even try to?
Of course.
About? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really go anywhere anyway, and I didn't need to go anywhere, but I like the interstate was shut down for a while. I know the main road around here that you need to take to get anywhere had a down tree for a while. Yeah. And my next door neighbor, they had a tree that completely uprooted and fell over, but it wasn't a tall tree, so it didn't really hurt anything.
Right on. It always kind of cracked me up that they name these hurricanes and storms and stuff, people's names and stuff like that. Wasn't there a Stephen that did wreak some havoc?
Probably. I know whenever it's like I don't know what the threshold is, but when it is a big storm, they actually retire the name.
Oh, okay.
So there won't be another Hurricane Katrina. I assume that Ida was probably bad enough that we won't see an Ida anymore.
Yeah. So all the Sandys are off the hook now and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Huh. Interesting.
So yeah, Zen was asking about green light. What good, if any, green light is for plants?
Yeah, S as well, or maybe it's him. But yeah, I kind of wonder that myself too. My understanding on kind of how light it works is that, that things are green, all these plants are green because they're kind of reflecting that light. And so they're not absorbing it. But so, yeah, I mean, how much is green used? And am I even correct on that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've read about it before. I couldn't tell you exactly what it said, other than plants do need some degree of green light, but such an insignificant amount that if there's something on the spectrum of the light that you're using, that it's fine. And if you notice, like any light that's devoted to planted tanks, there's not a lot of emphasis on the green.
Yeah.
Like the fluval one that I have, you can adjust, I think, 5 different colors. So there's like the cool blue, the cool white, the warm white, the white, and then blue and red.
Interesting. Okay.
Ricky says there was a hurricane called Stephen back in 2003 that hit Sealy Island. Are you sure it wasn't Stefan? Wasn't Hurricane Stefan?
Yeah, it was probably that Stefan guy again. And you keep getting blamed for all his stuff.
Yeah. What is this? Matt dropping knowledge here. Reason that green plants appear that color is that they reflect that color in the light spectrum. In other words, the chlorophyll, and the plant absorbs red and blue light much more readily. Oh, chlorophyll. Wow. More like borophyll.
Good old Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Hey, see Norm Macdonald died?
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, apparently he had cancer, and he wasn't public about it.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting choice, but I don't know. He seemed to be doing stuff right up to the end pretty much. So yeah, hopefully he had a good time while he was here. I think he probably did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was what Google said. Oh, good. That kind of backs up what I said. Thanks, Google and Matt.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
So not good for plants. Well, that would explain why planted lights don't really emphasize the green.
Yeah, I would imagine though that you're right, and that probably even goes for the blue. That it doesn't need much, but it's probably nice to have a little bit of it in the spectrum.
Yeah, could be. I'm definitely not an expert on the lighting stuff. I just know like Bentley Pasco likes this light, so I'm gonna go get it too.
Yeah, he goes into depth on some lights. For sure. Yeah, and this cheap Chinese light, I think it's what the one he refers to as the JC&P or something like that. If I remember right.
Like there was one branded that way, but then he ordered some like direct from China where you had to order them in a 2-pack or something, and he just from his perspective it was the same light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting, these little, I don't know if I have one. Yeah, a lot of them, they all come with, and even like my Phoenix ones come with this, mm-hmm. And they're all like exactly the same. I think here's the Phoenix one, and it's it's
very very similar.
Yeah,
this looks like one slightly skinnier remote.
Mm-hmm. This one's really dusty, that's for sure.
Oh, hey Danny.
Yeah,
Danny just came in. Looks like one of your son's friends dropped by to say hello.
Yeah, he's bringing in the audience. I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah, Danny's gonna be my guest here next week.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll get all the musical folks, or at least part of them.
Nice.
Man, those songs you do are pretty impressive, man. You're so creative, and I can't imagine everything it takes to write and produce and mix and shoot. And I mean, I don't know, it's a lot of work, but the videos
I have fun with the songs. I mean, really, like the songs are not hard to do. It's like the other crap, the editing and working in the editing software, and then trying. And I get too ambitious. Like I film this in 4K, 120 frames per second, and then my laptop is like, I can't handle that.
Yeah.
So
I don't want any part of that. So do you like reduce the size of the file or something to edit it?
Well, it's the format that this like I use my phone. It's a Sony Xperia 1.2 or something, and it's known for having a good camera, and it shoots in 4K 120, which allows me to do like the slow motion stuff. But it only shoots in H.265 or whatever it's called, compression.
Okay.
It's like a high efficiency decoder. But anyway, all it means is that my editing program frequently crashes if I try to edit that file directly. So I have to put it in the software and then like re-encode it to H.264. And it's still the same quality. It's just a much larger file. And for some reason, it being a larger file, it can handle it.
Yeah.
It's just an extra step. It takes a while.
And it spreads out the information so it's not too much to handle at once or something.
Yeah, like Danny said, the songs don't work. They're fun. Like otherwise, why do them? Because I don't think the songs are like drawing in the subscribers. Just looking at my analytics, I occasionally, I'll get subscribers from it, but like the bulk of my subscribers have come from the videos where I'm just talking about my breeding projects and stuff. Like people just stumble upon the video.
Yeah. When Trent was in here earlier, like I showed him their like sticker videos because I thought those things were hilarious. So had to make the whole family sit down and watch some StephenP2003.
I've got an aquarium co-op box coming tomorrow, and I believe it's got a sticker that I don't have.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've already filled up my laptop with stickers, so it's too late.
Right? Yeah, Rico took that prime spot there and everything. Dirty Work. I think I watched that movie like 20-something years ago, but I haven't seen it since, and I don't remember it at all. I kind of want to see that again. See if it holds up.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. No. I remember Weekend Update with Norm Macdonald.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Well, those people suck, is what Matt said. What people? The people who don't subscribe? Because that's a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, subscribe to you or me or either of us. Yeah, there's billions of those people.
Yeah, or even the people that watch the video and don't subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
I have a few videos that have several thousand views, but I don't have several thousand subscribers.
Right. Yeah.
So
for sure. Yeah, it's interesting to go in and see those analytics and see what they have to say about people that are watching. And yeah, your average watch time is 1 minute and 30 seconds, something, whatever that is.
I make short videos, so I guess that counts against me. And I realized how short my videos are, that when I did that live stream on Saturday, my watch hours for the month shot up like 50%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, now I get that's what you need to do to get watch hours. I'm not going to get it with 4-minute videos.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed that since I've started doing this, that there's just no competing with it. I mean, we've had like 20 people in here for almost an hour, so it takes a lot of 4-minute video watches to get 20 hours.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to do live streams.
I was going to ask you about that, if this was a one and done, or if you're, just maybe going to pop in here and there, or if you're going to do regular, or if you decided.
I don't know. I think maybe if I don't have anything going on this Saturday, maybe I'll go live again. People seem to enjoy the like, what fish are my kids describing game, even though it's not for points. I'm not going to be giving away anything. Just something to do. That's the thing. Like I don't think I'd be very good at interviewing people, and I know I can't just go live and just start talking to myself or even like trying to depend on chat to keep me talking.
I did that on the first one. I did it all by myself, and I kind of, like this, I made a little list of some things that I wanted to talk about and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I think I made it to like 52 minutes, and I'm like, okay, well, that's it. Thanks for coming by, But it's tough to do it by yourself, and I don't know. I mean, I like having guests on here, but I don't really view it as an interview. I guess I asked you a few questions because I'm curious about things, and I've got this opportunity and this platform to do so.
Sure.
But
Yeah, I mean, organic
kind of
conversation works.
conversation. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, Matt went live for 5 hours the other day because Rico wasn't
Right.
feeling well, and he just filled the void for 5 hours, chasing
Wow.
chickens and stuff like that. He had one of his chickens get loose, chase down the chickens.
Yeah, I saw that actually. Yeah, and he showed his wife get ran over by the dog, so he had a little video there.
Oh man,
And
that's
then, one of the chickens got loose, so chased it around the coop or the little fenced in area a few times, and then I think he was chucking the ball with the dog. I had to do some actual work, so I missed a little bit of that. But just lurking and working,
So S said, I wonder how many people watched the 10-minute live bear video fully. Yeah, I had a video where I just had to I just put a camera in front of my live bear tank and just same as what's happening behind me. Because somebody in the comments was like, I'd love to see just like for like 5 to 10 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And
that's an easy thing to do, right? Not much editing on that one.
No, somehow I managed to make it more complicated than necessary, but
well, of course, yeah. I mean, that's what you do, right?
And that's the thing. Like they say, like a 10-minute video a week. If I did a 10-minute video, it would take me forever because I'm so obsessive with it. Like if I need every moment to have something going on, I guess it's because my own ADD brain, I just like transfer it to other people. Like if I can't sit through 20 seconds of nothing, then other people can't.
Yeah.
But I'm looking average view duration of that 10-minute video is 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Average percentage viewed 20.9%. So there's like a big slope down. For some reason, a lot of people skip to the 336 mark, even though nothing happened at that moment.
I wonder if somebody shared it and they had that timestamp in there or something.
Could be. Oh yeah, I did put chapters in there, but the chapters mean nothing. I'm just like, hey, look, they're still swimming. Whoa, look at them swim. They just don't stop. But yeah, it looks like 12% of viewers made it to the end. So kudos to those 12% of viewers.
Awesome. I think I have one video of that like that on my channel, and it was of my Ultim Angels that are in this tank. I didn't feed them today, so that maybe they'd come out and grace us with their presence. But yeah, I don't know. I just put some music to it and stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of a pretty low effort video.
Yeah, I just started messing around with editing software and figuring out what I can do.
Yep. Yeah, I've been trying. I was editing everything on my phone, and I get so frustrated.
Oh, don't do that.
You're trying to do these minute things with the on the screen and stuff, and yeah, it was a disaster. And then I don't know, I tried this like Lightroom program, and it's just like the free version, but I think it only does like 720p or something like that. And then I didn't like the video for the Aquascape, Alex's competition. I didn't want to use that because it's downgrading the video quality and stuff. And so then I tried like yet another one last night. So yeah, I was also teaching myself this new program at the same time. And yeah, I don't know.
So I have a question about your hydrocotyle tripartita that you had growing out of there. How long, like, did you start that from just a single pot, or did you have a lot of it going at first?
Yeah, so I have another video where I unbox those plants. I don't say what I'm going to do with them, except that they're going to be in a future tank or something like that. But that hydrocotyle tripartita, the way it came was on like a mat of that. What do they call it? Like coconut husk, I think.
Yeah, coconut fiber
and
stuff.
It had this this like plastic coated little grate, like little fencing, like a little metal fencing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, yeah, grown like through that onto that husk. And, you know, even in the video, I said, like, this is going to take forever to plant, because I'm going to basically have to plant each one of these individual stems, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I came to plant it, I just opened up that little fencing that it was growing through. And then that I pulled on that husk, and the husk came right out, like didn't disturb the roots on it or at all, just came off really super clean. And then, you know, you saw that tank that I has look kind of similar to the tank you use. It had that compartment back there.
Yeah.
And so I took that metal thing that was coated with plastic and I shoved it down in there and called it good. It was like, it was the simplest planting. Yeah.
Yeah. That, so if you see let me see if I can do this right, pointing right there, that, that's some dwarf baby tears right there.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And it's on the same kind of thing, on some metal wire, plastic coated with the coconut fibers and stuff under there. And I tried to take it apart and I damn near ruined it. And so right now I'm just trying to salvage it, because disturbing it just, I don't know, it was doing so well, and now it's kind of falling apart. I mean, I know dwarf baby tears is kind of finicky, so
yeah, so
I think I made a mistake with that.
Yeah, difficult plant. Well, it looks great from here. So S says, I always thought the hydrocotyl tripartita, immersed and submerged look very similar. Could be wrong. Pretty toasty. Yeah, that's kind of one of the problems, to be honest with you, about my scape, is that the plants that I use,
you could be lying.
The two crypts, yeah, they don't look that much different, you know, in the immersed and submerged forms. And so, yeah, when I had that idea, I kind of wanted to do something that looked a lot different. But yeah, it was one of those days that it wasn't the Thursday afternoon or Friday morning at the wet spot. And I kind of went with what they had. And, but yeah, I'm really happy that I got to use that plant. But yeah, I don't know that it looks a whole lot different. Are you familiar with, I think they call it a cardinal plant?
I don't think so.
Something cardinalis or something, Lobelia cardinalis. That was a plant that really came to mind, because it's when it's in its immersed growth out of water, it has these really cool reds and purples.
I've seen that before. I didn't know what it was called. Yeah, I've seen it growing, like growing out of ponds and stuff.
Yeah, and it looks amazing like that. But unfortunately, when you convert it in your aquarium, it's just kind of this
green weed,
big leafy plant. You know, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look anything like it did before. So I was kind of envisioning using that plant and some others.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, they didn't have any, and I didn't try any harder to get it elsewhere, basically. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, the hydrocotyl, I have one pot of it, and it's growing okay, not fast, but its leaves are coming off of it. I made a mistake and I put it in this tank behind me, and something kept eating the leaves. Every time leaves would grow, something would just pick them all off.
Really interesting.
And yeah, so it could have been rainbows, it could have been autosynclus. I mean, it is kind of a delicate leaf on it, at least when it's submersed, so it could have been autosynclus.
Yeah, out of those two, I would think more the autosynclus, but yeah, who knows? You got snails in there and stuff too?
Yeah, I've got snails in every tank, though. I moved it to my 90 and it's doing fine now. So whatever is in the 90 doesn't find it as delicious as whatever is eating it in the 40.
Yep.
I don't have autosynclus in the 90 anymore. I have Pandagara now.
Yeah. I think I'd seen you talking about the Pandagara. You like those, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. That's my new favorite member of the cleanup crew. You know, they kind of do the same sort of job as a Corridora and an autosynclus. You know, they're not going to eat hair algae and all that kind of stuff, but like they will eat excess flake and pellet food and live food and frozen food, but they'll also constantly be grazing on plants and getting biofilm and soft algae and stuff off of it. You just don't have to worry about starving them like you do with autos, where they will only eat that stuff. And then once their gut bacteria dies off, then you can't revive them. They just starve to death.
Been there before. Yeah, I'd like to try some of those. Maybe throw some in the plant farm or something, you know. Be interesting to try to keep those. I never have.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yep. Danny said it never responded to my trimming either. Just keep ending up with one. I'm not sure what he was talking about. Did you see?
Was it the hydrocotyle or all the pennyworts are great?
The pennywort. Yeah.
Unless he was talking about the Lobelius cardinalis.
Oh yeah, maybe. At the St. Louis Aquarium, they have a huge tank full of Gara to eat the skin off your hands. That
explains why every time I put my hand in my tank, at least one panda Gara will not leave me alone. It just attaches to my hand. It feels so weird. It's not like it doesn't hurt or anything. They don't really have any teeth, but it's, you know, you got a little sucker fish kind of tickling your hand.
Yep. Yeah, I've had you know, some shrimp tanks and stuff. You put your hand down there and they start.
Oh, that feels so weird. You ever had a giant Amano shrimp on your hand? That is the most unsettling feeling.
I don't know. I'd probably freak out and pull my hand out of the water with the giant Amano shrimp.
Get off.
I did a water change on this 20 earlier, and some giant Amano shrimp came out that I hadn't seen in forever. Like, oh, he's still in there, growing away.
I thought they only lived a couple of years, but I've had some that are at least that old now.
I've kind of found that a lot of these numbers that they give online and stuff about fishes and stuff are rough estimates, or you know, somebody's experience, and they might live better in your water than somebody else's. And I mean, sometimes I've found some to be way off, and some people just have bad experiences and their water's not right for things. You know, I've heard people say cardinal tetras, you know, they don't last at all. And I think I've one in this 90 behind me it's like 9-10 years old at least or something, you know, and I've had it for like 12 years before and stuff. And you wouldn't think that out of a little tiny fish like that. But
I mean, cardinal tetras are one of those that are so grossly overbred, and so you'll get a lot of weak stock. But when you get the healthy ones, you know, they'll last. It took me a lot. I had to go through a lot of cardinal tetras to get a school that would survive and not have a die off like every week to every month. And, you know, eventually they stopped dying, and, you know, they're fine. They all grew up until I gassed them all to death.
Yeah. And sometimes, they're just in that fragile state there, and you get them past that. And I've kept clown loaches forever, and a lot of times when I would buy clown loaches, little tiny ones, that they wouldn't do so good. And then somebody told me a long time ago, like, get one that's just a little bit bigger, you know, and that they're a lot hardier. And that seemed to be my experience as well. Yeah.
That's like Jason with his black ghost knives. Seventh one was a charm.
Finally, you just keep buying them until one works out. There you go.
A northern pike that opens up your thumb enough for 6 stitches is fun. Yeah. Ooh. See, I don't. Other than maybe a puffer, I'm not really a fan of keeping fish that can hurt me if they bite me. Because, like, you know, as a plant guy, I've got my hands in tanks all the time. I don't want to have to worry and like make sure I know where that mean fish is at all times, so it doesn't come surprise me by taking a chunk out of my skin.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got a Fahaka puffer, and I've always a little concerned that, I
Yeah.
kind of shoo her off to the one side of the tank so I can work on this side of the tank. And then I'm just constantly keeping one eye on her to make sure she doesn't come, take a knuckle off or something. And
Wow.
then I get done with that side and I got to shoo her off to the other side. Or, sometimes she does it herself, but then she just sulks. She'll like bury herself in the sand, and then she's a little finicky about eating sometimes after the water changes. But the next day she's doing great.
Wow. Even piranha are cool and just inquisitive unless you stick your hand in the tank during spawning behavior.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got bit by an Oscar a long time ago, I remember, and I was just feeding them little pellets, and I was just like dumping the pellets into the tank, and one of them kind of jumped out of the water and latched onto my finger, and there was little teeth marks there. And it's more freaky than hurting or anything, but freaked me out.
Oof. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Imagine having a one of those Mabu puffers that can pretty much take a finger off when if it wants to bite you. I mean, kind of slow, so you'd see it coming unless you really weren't paying attention.
Right. That's why I'm always concerned with the Fahaka, that I gotta okay, make sure you keep an eye on her too. But I mean, the Mabu puffers is just enormous, and there's no doubt that they could take a finger off the way they bust through those clamshells and stuff like that.
Yeah. Kevin enjoying the red Gara, picking off dead skin.
Oh, Kevin's here as well, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you had Kevin last week, and you got me this week, and Danny next week.
Yeah. And
how far out do you have it? Everything's booked.
There's a Big Tank Hank after that, and then I'm wide open. So hit me up, people. There's if you go to my about page, then there's a little email in there. If you're interested in being on the stream, feel free to shoot me an email and see what we can set up. And,
nice.
Yeah. So pretty good deal. And I think I don't know, unless there's anything else you want to go over or discuss, or
no, up to you.
Wrapping her up.
If anyone's got any questions in chat. Otherwise, let's see. Really appreciate how Ryan has sections on this channel like videos, upcoming live streams, makes navigation easy. Yeah, I got to make those playlists.
Yeah, and those are just even I haven't even put them in playlists. Well, I've put a lot of stuff in playlists, but that's not even really what's up there. It's just the regular old YouTube categories. And I'm always surprised that more people don't do that, because I search for somebody's, maybe they haven't scheduled the stream yet or anything, but I search for somebody's stream and I find their channel, but I don't see the stream there yet. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just gonna have to wait till they actually make the stream and go live, then I can find them and stuff. But I mean, YouTube just makes it easy. There's like a section that you can activate for upcoming live streams. So those are like scheduled out on there. And then you can do past live streams, and like you said, you could do whatever you want really by setting up the playlist.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that for the live stream stuff. I do have some playlists, but when I see a scheduled live stream and they've scheduled it like a week or two in advance, there's no way I'm going to find that again unless it's on their page.
Yep. And there's those little reminder buttons, but I don't know how many people use those. And of course you can rely on the little bell thing if you want to, but just make it easy. Go to the page and I had my YouTube organized at one point to show like my most watched videos first, but some of those are like old videos that are Like, I don't know, like not that I'm anywhere near as professional as you are now, but they were even worse before, and a lot of people have watched them between then and now, but it's not necessarily what I want, first on the page, I guess.
Even some of my old edited stuff kind of makes me cringe when I look at it again.
Yeah.
Because it's just like random mistakes, like why is the audio so bad? Like why did I edit my voice to sound like that? And there's I talk kind of slow, and then there's like a whole bunch of space between sentences, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep. That's how most of my videos are, but these ones don't even are even worse. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Kevin wants to know how many tanks I have. 10, including quarantine/plant farm.
And your tanks are kind of throughout your house, kind of like.
Yeah, like I've got 2 in the bedroom, and then there's one in my son's room, one in my daughter's room, one in the living room, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the dining room.
Yeah.
So yeah, the dining room is kind of going to be the fish room.
Dining room.
Yeah. It's the room where the dining table is. And to be honest, at this point, the dining table is just like in the way. If we move that and I put, say, like a rack in there instead, I'd have room for a lot more tanks.
Yeah. I wonder if your wife's still listening.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. And she's like, you can get a new tank when we get a new house.
Boy.
And I say we can get a new house when we quit spending thousands of dollars to Disney World. Like, we're spending down payment money.
Yeah, there's all these trade-offs for sure.
Yeah. Yep. See, here we go. As soon as we get a new house, so hurry up and get him monetized.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Once I reach that 1,000 subscribers, making pennies, making it hail in this house.
2, 3, maybe $4 a month.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure people will go crazy with the super chats on you, but like YouTube takes half of those, don't they?
Take a third, I think.
Oh yeah, I was wondering. I'm not sure.
I looked it up because there was one stream where Ed was talking about this modeling, some kind of clay resin or something he was using, and how expensive it was. It was like $16 a pound. So it's about 16. Wait, YouTube takes a percentage, and then I looked it up. Oh my God, they take a third of it. So I super chatted him $24. I'm like, okay, after YouTube takes its cut, here's a pound of resin.
Nice. You did the math. I like it.
Or roughly 30%. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What makes them think they deserve that?
Compare me, Danny. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They give us this platform for free, but 30% is a chunk, that's for sure. And I think the perception is that all of that money is going to the creator, which obviously, unfortunately, it's not.
No. Now, how much does Patreon take? I know a lot of people have that still going.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Tell us, chat. What does Patreon take?
It sucks when they cover the processing and they offer the platform. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess 30% seems kind of high, though.
Yeah, and then they also throw video, commercials on everything too.
Yeah, I mean they've got the ad money, and I don't know how much of that they share.
Yeah, probably not 30%, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, all the time. Patreon takes 13%.
Okay, there you go.
So that's more in line of like an agent,
Mm-hmm.
Like if YouTube were the agent, being they like provide the means to get this money, then it justifiably taking 15% would be okay.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm not even monetized.
Soon enough, my friend. You're cruising right along. So, yeah.
I won't be quitting my job ever, probably.
Yeah, probably not. But Yeah, you'll have some fun doing it, and who knows, man? Maybe you will. Maybe it'll blow up, and you will be full-time YouTuber. Hard to say.
I don't know. I have trouble having fun when something becomes a job, because if I quit and then my income is YouTube, then YouTube becomes an obligation, and then I have to start worrying about whether people are watching and engaging, and whether this topic is going to get the amount of clicks that I need to stay on the algorithm's good side. And none of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
And then you'd get even more compulsive about your editing and stuff like that, probably too.
And and then you end up having mental health issues like a lot of big time YouTubers get.
Yeah. We've seen it happen, no doubt. There's this guy in our fish club, Greater Portland Aquarium Society, and he used to own a fish store, an LFS, and he said that there's no quicker way to ruin the hobby than to turn it into a business.
That is anything, in my opinion. I used to be I was a creative writing major, and I used to be really big into writing fiction stuff for fun, and also editing other people's stuff for fun. And then I got a job as an editor, and I'll never do that again for fun.
Yeah.
Even now it's not really my job anymore, but I'm just kind of over it.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that. If you had any sort of background with graphic design or editing or something, you do such a good job with that in your videos.
It's self-taught. I have a degree in creative writing, so there's that. And then I was a journalist for a while. I was an editor of a paper for a while, but since then, I work for a government, a IT government contractor. So it's just a lot of boring, mundane work. And that means every ounce of creativity I can devote to stuff I want to do, because that job doesn't require me to be creative. It's it can be a stressful job sometimes, but sure, I'm good at it and it pays well. So I don't see myself getting out of it for anything.
Yeah. And you get to work from home and yeah. Good deal. So an hour and 20 minutes here, and these these streams keep getting a little longer. I was trying to keep them around an hour, but talking to Kevin, talking to you, things get we get in some good conversation and keep it rolling. But I think I'm gonna wrap things up here, and
it's getting close to 11 p.m. here, and my wife, just like Lefty, and my wife is a teacher, and so she's got to get up at those wee hours of the morning.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate having you, and
I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me up. I love talking plants with anybody. I don't get to do that a lot, so I like getting on some of these streams and geeking out on that kind of stuff.
Indeed. Yeah. And I named this kind of the planted tank stream or something. Yeah. And there's been some discussion, but I think this is probably one of the most in-depth as far as plants. So it was nice to have that. And, I love the variety, and each week there's hopefully something a little bit different. And just thank everybody that's here in chat and chatting it up. Anyone that's lurking, the mods and I don't know. Did I miss anyone? Am I supposed to thank anyone else? Replay crew. There we go.
Replay. Yep.
Replay.
And thank the YouTube overlords for allowing us to be on their platform. This humble stream, taking 30% of everything we make. Yeah, and then having to pay taxes.
Like we were complaining earlier, but we
really
appreciate
we love our YouTube overlords and the almighty algorithm that will keep us getting subscribers and views.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks. Bye, y'all.